Hello, welcome to another episode of Watch Once Over. My name is Big E, and today we're going to be looking at this beautiful G-Shock Rangeman. Now, I purchased this watch because I not only wanted a G-Shock with all the amenities, I also wanted something a little different. Now, what I'm going to do first is we're going to get some measurements out the way of this watch so you can just see how big this watch is. And it's a pretty big boy. So let's get out my calipers. And the thickness of this watch is 20 millimeters lug to lug. .70. And then the case size, let's go straight across from the crown, since the crown is recessed, 56. So this is a big boy, and this watch is not for the faint of heart. But if you like technology, this might be the watch that you want to go for, especially if you want to do things like outdoor activities. Now let's go over a quick showing of the buttons. You have 4 main pushers, and then you have the control crown, which also doubles as a pusher. Now this watch is enabled with navigation, and it also has a triple sensor and carbon fiber, solar powered, and it's mud resistant. Now let's look at the band real quick, and I'll come in a little bit to show you. If you look at the band, it's reinforced with carbon fiber, and it's a really nice heavy duty band. The back is ceramic because this watch is not only solar, you can also charge it with an inductive charger. So that's different in a lot of aspects than a lot of different G-Shocks, which are solar or whatnot. Now, this watch, let's go with this button first. This is mainly the light button, which turns on the light button. And the watch has a really beautiful display. It's a sapphire crystal. And the watch is just chock full of technology. So if you get to these other 3 buttons, let's try this one first. And what this is going to do, it's going to get you to a setting mode. Now, you can use this as a scroll button to scroll up and down, light, beep, time and date, daylight savings time, home city, alarms, airplane mode, and display. So let's just push display, and then it'll tell you you'll get the screen you want or 24-hour, 12-hour format. Push screen, then you go into another section. So it tells you what kind of screen setting you want. You can have a basic display. You can display time and navigation, time and barometer. You can do the time and sunrise, sunset, and you can do the world time. So let's just go on world time. Setting completed. Then you can go back, and it'll show you, it'll split the screen and show you what you've done. Now right here, I have it set to Atlanta time, and I have it set to Phoenix time. So you get both days, both dates, the time, and you also get at 12 o'clock the battery level. So that's pretty cool. Now let's go back off of there. Let's go back to there. Display, screen. Now let's go to another function, which is, let's say, time and navigation. That sends it to it. Now up top you have the time on the bottom. Then up top you have the navigation screen, which is a really easy screen to use. You can set waypoints, your compass of where to go. So if you get lost and there's a certain way you want to go, this will take you to where you're going, and also you can backtrack to where you've been. So if you left your vehicle in a certain spot and you go out hiking, this can find your way back because it's enabled with navigation. Okay, now let's go on to another setting, display, screen. Okay, let's go on to sunrise and sunset screen. Now this screen will tell you what time, wherever you're at, what time the sun is going to set and what time it's going to rise. Now right now you have the sun setting at 6:28 p.m. and sunrise is at 6:51 a.m. So that's really useful because if you're out on a hike and you need to pitch a tent or do a campsite, you know how much light you have, and then you also know when you're going to get more light, so you know when nightfall is going to be and you know when sunup is going to be. So sunrise, sunset is very useful if you're out in the wilderness. Now, let's go to the next one, display, screen, barometer. Now this barometer is going to have a display and it's going to show you how the likelihood it's going to rain, because you have a triple sensor here. You have your barometer, your thermometer, and you also have your what do you call that? You have your barometer, your thermometer, and you also have your compass in there. So you have a triple sensor on there, and that can display in Fahrenheit or Celsius. So let's go back again. Timekeeping mode. Let's go back. Display mode. I'm going to go back to the basic screen. And this is what you'll be using most of the time. Go back to your basic screen, and then it shows you the day, spells out the day of the week, the time, AM and PM, then your running seconds at the bottom, and also has your battery level. So that's going to be real useful to most people, and this is what most people are going to stay in this mode. I really do believe they're going to stay in that mode. Now you also have ancillary modes. You can go into this button and you can go into your timekeeping mode, and that's how you set up your timekeeping mode. Or you can set it up Bluetooth, or you can set it up through the satellite. Either one. This button right here is for it to connect to your smartphone. This button right here is for your compass. Let's do that real quick. And you notice when the compass goes up, the time right over 6 o'clock is a small window, so you still have the time, but you can move around and find out where true north is. So you can always get your bearings and to figure out which way you're going. And if you need to track true north, you can set it to track true north, south, whatever you want to do, and you will not get lost when you have this watch. I guarantee it. Now let's go back to just your timekeeping mode. Now this button right here is for your Bluetooth setup, your GTS setup, your phone finder, your time and position, and it also has a history of everything that you've done and places you've been. It keeps a history in the data so that you can find out your history of, like, say if you go on a special trail that you go on all the time, you can go into the history and recall that trail, so you'll know your bearings of where you like to hike and how you get back to the spot that you started. So that's another thing. Now, other than this watch being very big, the watch is really comfortable. Now, I have another big watch on, ironically, right now, and that is my Seiko spring drive tuner. Now, we're just going to do a comparison of the size. And you can see that the spring drive tuner, being 50 mil, isn't even close to this G-Shock. The G-Shock is a monster. It is a big boy, and you should know that before you get into it. Now, let's do a quick comparison on the scale. Let's set this up to grams. So the G-Shock weighs in at 145 grams. That's really light for a watch of this size. And the tuner on the strap code metal bracelet is coming in at 184 grams. So the tuner is actually heavier than the G-Shock by about 40 grams. So the G-Shock, like I said, isn't going to hold you down, isn't going to weigh you down. It's just a watch that, even though it's big, it's still comfortable, and you'll still be able to wear this watch. Now, and the functions on this watch are so simple to use, you don't really need the instruction booklet. You can just push the buttons and find your way around. And I'm very serious about that. Like, if you wanted to start the GPS, you just push the button and it'll just go straight in the GPS mode, and it's really easy to set it up. It's a very intuitive watch. Now let's go into the back of the watch. Now the back of the watch is ceramic, which is another thing that makes the watch light, in addition to the carbon fiber band. Now this has an inductive charger that goes on this, and this watch is really light when it comes to that, and it's really cool. Now let me zoom in on the back of the watch a little bit so you can see it. It has a cat wearing a watch that is energized with electricity. And let me make this a little lighter. A little more light, maybe you can see it better. So that's the cat, and you can see that it's ceramic as I move around. So that's pretty crazy. But this watch, all in all, is a really easy watch to use, and it's not something that you're going to buy and get confused of how to use it if you don't use it a lot. It's just something that it'll be real easy to pick up. Now on the buckle, it's signed with G-Shock on there, and you have a twin catch right here. So if you put the watch on, it's going to remain very secure. Even though the watch has a really big wingspan, it's still comfortable because this is so pliable. Now, in addition to all these features, the watch is still solar charging and inductive charging, 200 meters water resistant, so you don't have to worry about getting this wet. But it's one more and really important thing: if you do get the watch wet, let the watch dry out completely before you use the inductive charger on the back, because you may be able to arc it and get shocked. So never charge this watch when it's wet. unless you're going to be using the solar panel around the outside to charge it, which takes about 5 hours being out in direct sunlight, and that'll charge it up, because this watch is really power hungry when you're using the navigation. That's one of the things of why the watch needed a solar boost cell, because the watch really goes through the battery. Now, the good thing about it is you don't need to plug it in to charge it. The sun will charge it up, and you can change the intervals of when this connects to the satellite to save the battery if you need to do that. But anyway, I can't go through all the features of this watch. It's just chock full of stuff. It's a really nice watch. It's a big watch. It's the Rangeman. And I just wanted to show you guys the watch and the size of the watch, and now you have a comparison of how big it is towards a normal watch. And just to show you, I'll put it up next to my Casio Royale, and you can see how big it is. Look at that. That's a big boy. That is a big boy. So, check out the Casio Rangeman. If you like big watches and you want a watch that does it all and you want a premium G-Shock, you can pick one of these up. The list price is $850, but you can pick them up for around 500-ish, complete kit. And it's just a nice watch. So if you guys are into G-Shocks, check out the Rangeman. I'm sorry I couldn't go into all the features. It's just too much. I mean, the book for this watch is 40 pages long. I can't go into that. I would never quit filming. So anyway, that's the watch once over. I do recommend the Rangeman if you're an outdoor person. If you like big watches, if you don't like big watches, this will not be the one for you. But it's a very intuitive system. It's very easy to use. It's just plug and play friendly. And you also can link it to your phone and use your phone to control the watch to set everything up, which is really intuitive and simple. So give it a try and check it out if you like it. Let me know what you guys think. And sorry I couldn't put all the information about this watch in there, but it's just too vast to do. So that's the watch once over. My name is Big E. God bless. Please subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one.